extremely sandy ground. I mean, you can pretty much go on that ground an hour after it rained and be all right. But that was the only reason we got some planted. And now we've got small ponds and small lakes in a lot of our fields. We're over an area that's, we don't necessarily farm over in this neck of the woods so much, but this is pretty typical ground for northeast Indiana. A lot of heavier ground. There's one of our big farmers in the area. Some of their equipment's sitting out there. It's been sitting there a while because that field's a little on the wet side. So unfortunately, haven't had much to videotape and share with YouTube world because we don't really have anything going on other than lots of shop work. We've got corn planters 100% ready to go. I worked a couple evenings this week and was working on, we got a new air seeder, not the same one we were using last fall. One we were still using last fall when I was planting wheat was an 1890, 40-foot 1890 with 7.5 inch spacing. Man, he'd had that since 2013. I bet 2013 it seems. Well, 2014 is probably our first year using it. There's a little area where the water's not drained off yet. So we ran that air seeder for quite a few years, and it was needing some, just a lot of rows rebuilt, a lot of, just a lot of work if we were going to keep it as a major producer on our farm. So we decided to upgrade, went to a 1990 air seeder with still 40 foot. One we bought has 10 inch spacing, which I'm not crazy about, but it'll definitely get soybeans done this year. At the rate we're going, might not get soybeans done until June or July, but hopefully it stops raining for a while. Rained again this morning. At least I woke up to puddles in my driveway and the roads were wet. And I think according to the forecast, we're in AccuWeather anyways, it's supposed to be done raining for a while. And that'd be really nice. I love seeing cows. There's those cows again. And there's not normally a pond down there in their pasture. There's usually a little water here on this fence row and in the corner of this field, but not that amount. Some on the other side of the road, I'm guessing there's a culvert. They probably share, water shares that low spot on both sides of the road. So it's just super, super wet here. It's gonna be, it'll be a week of dry weather before we'll be able to get on a lot of our fields. And so, according to AccuWeather, supposedly we got a stretch of dry weather here. At least through the weekend and maybe the first couple days of next week. But then there's like some 30%, 40% chances of rain. So, it'll be just about the time the ground gets dried up. I'm sure it'll rain again. It'll be just beachy. So, unfortunately, that's just not been a lot. Oh, I guess that's water there, but it's in the woods, so who cares? Can't farm in the woods very well. But a lot of our rivers and stuff, in fact, we're going to cross one right here. I want to see how high this is. I haven't been down this way in a while. Yeah, that river is just, water's flowing like crazy with rapids down there. Normally that river is just a little creek, if you will. It's usually not flowing a lot of water, so there's just more water than we can handle, a lot more rain than we can handle. It's starting to look like a repeat of 2018, which was very wet, very cold, and a lot of guys got into late June, even early July, still trying to finish up some of their planting, which made for late harvest, which is no fun either. So we're really hoping the rain's done for now. I mean, we could go projects. I started to videotape some tiling projects I was working on last week, early last week, but it was still fairly dry. And I just didn't get any good content that I wanted to share and spread together into a video, because it's just kind of, I mean, it's fun playing in the dirt, but it's hard to videotape playing in the dirt when you're running a mini excavator. And so I didn't really have any great content, so I ended up just kind of dumping all those videos. So maybe if I've got another opportunity to do a little tiling project and I've got a helper with me, videotape what's going on, it'll be a little more enjoyable to watch. But it was just basically me standing outside the mini telling you what I was doing, then getting down the trench after I dug and showing you what I was doing and finding. It was hard to get any good action shots of actually running the excavator, because where I was at, there's just not a good place to put my phone for video purposes. Now there's a few extra ponds out there. This side of the road. Wow. I wonder if there's water across the road here. That's set aside, or I'm pretty sure it's still set aside over there. The only reason why it's set aside. That usually does have some water down there in that center of that low spot, but not that much. Someone's get an idea of tiling back there. All that field, I think he chisel plowed that. Well, he didn't chisel plow, but he worked it last year after harvest. He's got water everywhere. It has nothing to do with him working it. I don't think it's just the way that field looks. Water down there in that low spot. And there's a wheat field that's got a little bit of an issue. I'm not sure that wheat will pull. So I wish I'd driven around and done this Wednesday of this week, which would have been the first. It's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, especially up in this area of our where I'm at, northeast Indiana, almost to the Michigan state line. We had almost 3 inches of rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and I mean that hit the whole area, but this area specifically got a ton of rain, and we're still seeing a lot of the effects of it. There's water standing in people's yards and driveways. There's water seeping along the edge of the road, and obviously lots of water standing in the fields. Drainage ditches and creeks and small rivers are still holding a lot of water. I think that's a cover crop. I don't think they're going to be able to get out there and spray that off anytime soon, unfortunately. So, I missed a lot of the really great currents. You know, water flowing down some of these rivers was pretty majestic Wednesday morning. In fact, I'll pull up some video that my wife sent me. She went out to where there's a creek that runs through our farm, our family farm. And she went out in the woods and videotaped it. It was, usually it's just a real slight trickle through the creek, maybe about a foot deep in some places. And it was raging, just raging. Water up over the banks in some places. So it was quite a sight to behold. We don't really get that much rain typically. This has been a really interesting year for us, kind of like 2018. 2019 is turning out to be a really wet year so far. I hope we don't hit that cat. Good cat. That field's real wet in a lot of places. This is some heavier ground up here, so it's holding the water real well. We're just coming up on a farm up here that we farm. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this field will be wet and saturated. So it's not this soybean stubble, it's this next field. Got corn stubble. We actually chopped it last year, so it's kind of short corn stubble. That part's always a little wet, but there's an area out there that's holding a lot of water. And then farm on the other side of the road, same guy, different field. Oh wow, we have to put all that water. So we won't be planting this field anytime soon. It's actually one of the last fields we plant usually, just because it's such heavy ground. This is the home farm for this fella. There is a lot of water down there by the cattails coming out into the field. It's always wet in the cattails, but usually not that far out in the field. Maybe early in the spring, but not May 3rd. Well, it's moist down there in that area. Stinks. We're coming up on another field that we farm, and the county just fixed a tile out here. that's pretty sandy ground. This side's pretty sandy too. And there's some water standing there, and there's going to be some water on the other side. There's some water in their yard. This is a little higher, but this low spot's going to be saturated. And ducks have found a nice place to hang out in this field. So I was running down this dirt road here. I guess it's not as wet as it looks up there, but it looks awful muddy. And I'm just in my work van, so hopefully I don't end up getting muddy and dirty. I'm not in a farm truck, so I don't really feel like going Bajan, but this is another low area. It's got a lot of water. Geese and ducks are making a home out here. Not sure if you can see the geese out there. You can tell water is across the road right here. It's got that ripple effect in the road, and you can see where there's dirt and stuff, and then someone's having some fun spinning their wheels. But we're on the, I guess I'd say, the back side of one of our farms, and specifically the one I just did the tiling work in that I was talking about. I was curious to see what it looks like. There's some more water. It's not going to drain off anytime soon. It's in a high spot. So this actually looks really nice up here on the top. Tile cart way out there. There's my Mini, still sitting where I left it at. Haven't really had any option to go use it anywhere else because it's so darn wet now. I'm pretty sure I'd drown trying to do a tiling job. So I'm not sure. I'm not going out there on foot. But back there where the tile cart's set, this is where I did my work at. I don't know, it kind of looks wet out there still, but heck, it just rained 5 inches. I was hoping I'd see, not see a huge lake here, and it actually looks pretty darn good. It doesn't look any worse down there in that low spot than it did really when I worked it. There's some water standing there, but that is like the lowest point in this part of our county right here. And that yellow standpipe is on top of a county lateral that then runs over to that tree line, which is a county drainage ditch. So both sides of this fence row here are bad shape. It's also by one of the lowest points in this area, so everyone's water flows here. This is a beautiful, beautiful site right here. I've got 2 water softeners on that property. I want to see what this ditch looked like here too. So this is taking the water away from where I did that tiling at. And I guess it's flowing pretty good. It's not as high as I thought it'd be. I think it's had some time to go down over the last few days. Water laying there, water laying there. It's just seriously wet, and it's really kind of frustrating that it's you're into the first week of May and you haven't planted hardly any of your corn and haven't touched, the air seeder hasn't even went out to a field yet to even put a seed of bean seed down on the ground. So we got a long road to hoe ahead of us. Oh, okay. There's more coming up here. Man, it's like all the way right up to the road. It's so deep. Wow. Yeah, I can't think of a time I've ever seen water standing on that side of the road. I've seen it on this side of the road a lot. There's a reason why that doesn't get farmed. That side. That's a lot of water. So I said earlier that that last spot I was at was one of the lowest parts in this part of the county. I don't think it's the lowest. I think this farm here that we farm is the lowest because everybody's water comes here. And I don't think we'll be doing anything on that farm for a while, unfortunately. So all in all, I'm really hoping that the rain is done for a while. I'm sick of rain. I mean, come August, I'll be praying for rain, I'm sure. Right now, I'm just sick of rain. I honestly can't remember the last time I did any work outside and did end up with wet feet or wet coat or whatever. So it'd be real nice if it stopped raining now for a little while and let us get some farm work done. I'm driving by one of our fields right now, and it's, I hate it when I have it inverted where I can see myself, because then if I turn, I'm not really sure what I'm actually videotaping, so I won't bother trying to show you what I was just driving by. But there was puddles in that field too, if you can believe that. So hopefully in the next week or so it can dry out and we can start doing some field work and have some more interesting and exciting videos to post to the YouTube world. So until next time, have a great day, guys.